Good afternoon, Bears. My name is Sophia Tavanello, and this is Bear News. Today, we will be doing a one-on-one interview with our very own UNC president, Andy Feinstein. How are you doing today, sir?
Sophia, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yep, and thank you so much for joining us. It is such a pleasure to have you here and be able to talk to you about what's going on at UNC.
Lots of exciting things happening right now at the university.
That's awesome. And speaking of exciting things happening at the university, UNC just recently became a Hispanic serving institution. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about that?
Yeah, that just happened 2 days ago. It was on the front page of the Greeley Tribune this morning. It's a huge day for the university, being designated as a Hispanic serving institution. It's something we've been working on in earnest for over 5 years. And
oh, wow.
We have a lot of people that have been focusing on this, particularly our Tobias Guzman, who's our Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, his entire team, our DEI fellows. We have folks that have been specializing and focusing on HSI as well, and it's just something that recognizes all the hard work we've been doing and really showcasing and supporting all of our Hispanic students on campus.
That's awesome. How is that going to help with the diversity of the school now? Are there going to be events that are coming up? How is that going to be showcased at UNC?
Well, there's two things that really we focused on. One is ensuring that we're supporting all of our Hispanic students on campus, but also to support all of our students and student success. And so the HSI designation opens up federal opportunities for us to apply for grants that support the entirety of the university in areas such as student success, research grants, and a whole host of programming that we're going to be tapping into from here on forward.
And you mentioned programming. Are there going to be, programs that are going to be more added into UNC that tie into this?
Well, and there already are a lot of programs that focus on student success, and you've probably seen them around campus. I know that, for instance, we have a big event coming up in April. It's a huge festival and community gathering that's going to bring our campus together. We have an event this Sunday that's actually focused on the Hispanic community and building on the culture and supports mechanisms that we already have on campus. So lots of programming already happening right now, and we're looking for even more to happen into the future.
That's awesome, and that I bet all the Hispanic students here at UNC are definitely appreciating that. I have friends in that community who I know were pretty excited to hear about this university becoming that.
And it's really a celebration for the entire university. This is about being a students first institution. It's about supporting all of our students, and this is just one designation showcasing how well we're doing in that area.
That's awesome. With the second question, with the shortfall in the budget, how is UNC funding the tuition promise and keeping within the budget?
Yeah, we've been very strategic on identifying ways to attract students to the university, and you brought up the tuition promise as an example. And we have lots of mechanisms for which we support students with financial aid, and we've been doing that certainly for decades and decades. What we've been doing in the last several years is being very strategic in how we do that. So we're able to kind of move resources around to focus on ensuring that students who have family incomes less than $65,000 will have their tuition and fees paid for. And it's something that we can do with very little additional investment, although there is some, but very little additional investment in university resources to do that. It's really about managing the resources that we have as effectively as possible.
And for the students who might not know what the tuition promise is there anything you would be able to tell them?
Yeah, the tuition promise means that you have a place here at UNC and you can afford to go. If your family has an expected income of less than $65,000, for almost all of our programs, your tuition and fees will be covered by the university.
Okay, thank you. That was awesome. With this budget deficit, are there going to be any more program or teacher cuts at the university?
Well, we haven't had any across the board cuts, even with looking at some budget shortfalls this spring. What we focused on is just being good stewards of our resources, making sure that we're traveling, the faculty and staff are traveling on only important business, looking very carefully at growing programs and also seeing things that we can actually save resources on. So there's no across the board cuts. We haven't made blanket reductions in staff and programs. We've just asked the campus to be thoughtful in the way in which we're managing resources, and we've had, I think, very good impact on that in the last couple of months, and we hope by the end of this semester to be at a balanced budget, which we've had for many years in a row, and we plan on continuing to do that into the future.
Is there anything you're able to say on the criminal justice program? Because there have been talks of it, getting smaller and smaller. Is there anything?
I don't know specifically about the criminal justice program, but I know that there's been less students enrolled in that program. We have to be thoughtful about how we manage those resources. If you have less students coming into a program for a whole host of reasons, we need to make sure that we have the faculty and staff that support those numbers of students and that the programming fits those needs. And so we take a very close look at all of our programs across campus and make sure that the resources that we have are matching the students' needs.
Okay. So what is the university's plan to raise the enrollment, even though it's been declining?
We've been working for the last couple of years on a strategic enrollment management plan. It's kind of stepping up and being much more sophisticated in the way in which we target and strategize how students can come to the university. That's been going on for a couple of years now. In fact, I have a town hall session or fireside chat coming up next month, which I'd love all of your viewers to show up and learn more about strategic enrollment management.
Okay.
But it's about how we price our programs, it's about the programs that we offer, it's about the way in which we market to students, it's about what you just heard earlier with Hispanic Serving Institution designations. These are all ways in which we are really doing a great job, I think, of improving the overall enrollment of the campus. For the first time in several years this fall, we had our largest class of first-time full-time freshmen, transfer students and graduate students, and we're very optimistic about this fall as well. So we're certainly on the right trajectory in growing our enrollment.
Okay. So recently students have been complaining about the Wi-Fi not working, not having enough washers or dryers in the dorms, and since they're being broken, or even having bug infestations. Why haven't the university officials or really anyone from the university addressed these issues with the students in living?
Well, I think that we have been addressing them, and when we hear questions or concerns from students about things that they would like changed, we act. But the students certainly, once we hear about them, we try to address them. And so I haven't heard specifically about washer and dryer concerns, but if those are happening and there's a washer and dryer that's broken, please let housing know. Let us fix those, and we're certainly going to do that. Regarding Wi-Fi, I have heard some comments about there's certain dead spots on campus, and even when I'm walking around, I'll say, why isn't my phone picking up the Wi-Fi signal? So I've had conversations with our information technology services and management folks on campus. We're working on addressing that. We've actually asked the state for additional funds to support more Wi-Fi access points across campus, and we'll get that under control. I know it's a large campus, there's going to be some dead spots, but we certainly want to make sure that we're addressing the needs of our students. And then the other one you mentioned was a bug infestation. Now, I've heard if someone saw a cockroach or something like that on campus, and that does happen, it's unfortunate. We do immediately address those situations if we see a bug on campus like that, and it's an unfortunate thing that occurs, but it's not uncommon. The key is if someone sees something like that and it's of concern, please bring it to our attention, and we'll do everything we possibly can to address that as quickly as possible.
Awesome. Why was TK suddenly closed and left Central Campus of the dining hall?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, if you recall, we partnered with Sodexo in really revamping and reimagining all of our dining services. And if you see what's happened in the University Center, this beautiful new dining facility with lots of great restaurants, and even the work we've done in bringing Starbucks to campus. We have food trucks on campus, so we've been very thoughtful about expanding dining services and also addressing the needs of students. Now TK, which is a place that I loved, I used to go there because it was closest to my office, we had to close it down for remodeling, and also we had a significant decline in enrollment. So we were trying to think about how we can actually manage having the staff and support able to address all of our students' needs, but also remodel and revise some of our dining facilities. And TK has been under renovation for over a year. I have been told that it's going to open up brand new this coming up fall with new restaurant concepts, lots of access. And I know that'll be very exciting for a lot of students that go to school and have classes on that part of campus. And I'm looking forward to it as well because it's so close to my office. But we have had grab and go there during this time, but I know that it has not been a sit down opportunity like it has been in the past. But it's coming back. It's going to be better than ever. It's under refurbishment right now. In fact, I've seen pictures and taken a look at what it's going to be, and it's going to be incredible. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I've never actually seen the inside of TK since I've been here at UNC. So
yeah.
Luckily, I have one more year here, so
yes.
I can't wait to go.
We'll have to both go and celebrate when it opens in the fall. They used to have, I'm hoping they bring it back, they had a Sunday bar. So they had hot fudge and nuts and cherries and whipped cream, and so
I want that.
I do too. So I'm hoping they bring that back for us. Yes.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna go. when they open it
Okay,
up. So
we'll go together.
yes. So how do you feel about starting the process of getting the funding from the state of Colorado to the new medical college?
Yeah, a lot of our work over the last several years has been focused on building a medical college at UNC, and we are so very close. In fact, we submit a candidacy application for accreditation this coming Monday. We've been working on that for over a year. We've been requesting funding for the state now for the last 6 months, and we actually have a bill that's going through the process of being approved in state legislature right now. So it's on its way. It's been through a number of committees. I'm hoping that it'll be on the House floor next week and then on to the Senate. And this bill will actually fund the facility, the new campus facility for the medical college, which will be located in the Bishop Lear space right now, and also help us with some of the accreditation funding that we need for escrow. So if all goes well, which I think it will, we'll have some great news to share with the campus by the end of the semester on building a brand new osteopathic medical college at UNC.
That sounds awesome, and we actually had someone from the college come in a few weeks ago
Yes.
to talk to us about that. So
I think Beth Longnecker,
Yes.
our founding dean, was here.
she
and
was.
You probably heard the excitement
A
for
lot of information.
Yes, and so we're so excited, but there's a lot of hard work ahead of us, and we're going to focus on making this a reality in the very near future.
Can't wait to see it. So a lot of students have been left wondering about what happened with the Ice Spice concert. Is there anything you're able to share with us about that?
You know, I remember earlier in the semester, I was at a men's basketball game, and someone came out on the court at halftime and announced Ice Spice. And I'll be honest, I said, "That's great. Who is Ice Spice?"
I didn't know who she was either.
So I immediately went online and said, okay, this is a pretty prominent musician. It would be an incredible artist to have on campus. But I wasn't aware that that was occurring. And then I started asking questions, and because I was excited about bringing something like this to campus. And it was shortly thereafter that we found out that it wasn't going to be. So it was an unfortunate situation. I guess a third-party vendor believed that they had access to Ice Spice and that she had committed to coming here, but that wasn't the case. We didn't lose any money. There was no damage financially at the university's side, but I know that a lot of students were upset because they got excited.
Well, at the games, there had been people there actually selling tickets
Yeah,
for about
yeah.
$25, $35, and
Yeah.
some students
Oh.
unfortunately got caught in that.
Oh, that's
So,
terrible.
Yeah, so yeah, that was just something I think all of us were just, what's going on with that?
So I asked, in fact, I was talking to some of our student affairs folks today, and they've told me that they are creating a huge event April 18th on campus. It's going to be a carnival, there's going to be like a petting zoo, there's going to be music, there's going to be...
I want to pet some animals.
I think it was very popular. It's happened in the past. So we're going to
Yeah.
have a huge festival on campus for the students, and I think it's a way of recognizing some of the frustrations that occurred about Ice Spice, but also do something very special for the university. I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I remember the other petting zoo that happened in fall semester got rained out a little bit. So round
Yes.
two.
Well, I was talking to someone about that. They said students loved the petting zoo so much that it was pouring rain, and the rain was actually blowing sideways, and there was like a 100-yard line of students waiting in the rain to pet animals. So for whatever reason, people were that excited about animals. That's great. We're going to bring it back and make it a part of this festival in April.
That's awesome. I cannot wait to see that again. What is your proudest moment so far of being the president of UNC?
There's been a lot of proud moments. I mean, the most proud moment for me as a university president is what happens every spring and every December when students graduate. So being on stage, shaking the hands of graduates, and you'll be up there soon too, right?
1 year.
That's right. So being on stage and shaking a student's hand and looking them in the eyes and congratulating them on a job well done is probably the most proudest thing that I can do, and it happens twice a year, and it's very special to me. Now there's other things that I'm proud about. I'm proud of the HSI designation. I'm proud of how far we've come with the Osteopathic Medical College. I'm proud of the way in which we've been working as a community to address challenging times during the pandemic. Those are all things that make me proud, but ultimately watching students cross the stage is the proudest thing that I am able to engage in.
Oh, well, as a student, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
that. I can't wait to be up there either. In
I
1
can't wait to
year.
see you and shake your hand.
Heck yeah. Are there any other plans in the works for UNC that are coming up that you might be able to share with the students?
Well, I mean, the big one right now, I was going to say before this interview started that I was waiting, a big one would be HSI, but we just got that. It happened 18 months before we were planning on it happening.
I did hear about that.
Which is great. I think the Osteopathic Medical College will be such an incredible opportunity for this university, for Greeley, and for Northern Colorado, that's probably something that I'm really going to focus on. It's not just about getting the bill passed at the state level, it's in building the facilities, it's about bringing in the new cohort of students, and it's the transformative impact it's going to have on our entire university. So that's got me very excited. But there's other things you may have seen. We have a whole campus master plan of what the university is going to look like in the next 10 years. If you haven't seen it,
I did hear about it.
Take a look at it. It has a paseo, it has beautiful spaces for students to engage inside and outside of facilities on campus. It has new buildings, and it's a plan I think that we're going to work very hard to make sure that it becomes a reality.
Hopefully one day after I graduate, I can come back and I can see all the new changes of UNC. I think that'd be absolutely amazing.
We have graduate programs too. You don't have to stop just when you graduate as an undergraduate.
Maybe. Is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers that you would want students to know about UNC?
Well, I'm honored to be your university president. I've been here now for 5.5 years. It's been a great joy. Certainly there's challenges, but there's a lot more just incredible experiences, and I feel just, again, so honored and humbled to be the university president here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me at the desk today and here in Bear News. I know we're also grateful that you were able to come in and talk to us about what's been going on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, I'm Sophia Tavanello, and this is President Andy Feinstein. Thank you so much for joining us today on Bear News 101.
Go Bears!